Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list. Here's my top 10 personal favorite movies of the 90s. Yeah, as you saw in my last two videos, I did my top 10 personal favorite movies of the decade and my favorite movies of the 2000s. And now here's my top 10 favorite movies of the 90s, which is all leading up to my favorite movies of all time. So yeah, here we go. Here's my top 10 personal favorite movies of the 90s. Okay, and before our top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions. My honorable mentions for my favorite movies of the 90s are Hamlet, Braveheart, Titanic, The Sixth Sense, Edward Scissorhands, Jurassic Park, American Beauty, Reservoir Dogs, Terminator 2, Judgment Day, and The Lion King. All fantastic movies. Just gonna make the top 10 list. But what David made my top 10 was my number 10. And my number 10 is Beauty and the Beast. Yes, tale as old as time, tale as old as rhyme, Beauty and the... Okay, I'll stop. I love Beauty and the Beast. This is one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. This came out in 1991, I think. Yes, the year I was born. I love this movie. I love how realistic it is with its romance. I love the relationship of Belle and the Beast. I love Gaston as a villain. I love the animation. I love the colors, the textures. I love the musical numbers. Come on. Beauty and the Beast, Be Our Guest, Kill the Beast, Kill the Beast. And also, I love Clocksworth and Lemire. Fucking awesome. It's a candlestick and a freaking clock. They're awesome. I love the comedy. I love the characters. I love how likable and charming it is. I love it's great for adults. It's great for kids. It was the first animated movie ever to be nominated for an Academy Award. It won Best Song. It's an amazing song. It's an amazing movie. It's one of my favorite Disney movies of all time. And it's my 10th favorite movie of the 90s. I love the Beauty and the Beast. Love it. Coming number 9 is the Big Lebowski. Yes, I'm the dude, man. I'm the dude coming out. Yes, Jeff Lebowski is the dude, and he is awesome. This is just the coolest and most laid-back character ever. And Jeff Bridges just did it so good. It's just an iconic performance. And I love John Goodman as Walter. He's also awesome. Just shut the fuck up, Donnie. You're out of your league, Donnie. Man, that rug, it really tied the room together. I love John Goodman. I love Jeff Bridges and John Goodman together. I also love Steve Buscemi as Donnie. He's great. Philip Seymour Hoffman is good, and all he does in the movie is say a couple lines and just do one of these. Tara Reid's even good. Julianne Moore is great in it too, and just everyone is so good, and the comedy is just freaking top notch. This is the Coen Brothers we're talking about here. So Coen Brothers make such weird and quirky movies, and they make a lot of great comedies. I love Burn After Reading, but this is their best comedy ever. The Big Lebowski is an iconic comedy, an iconic stoner comedy, and just it's got so many visual jokes, slapstick jokes, one-liners, and all that shit. It's a movie you gotta watch a bunch of times, and just the more and more times you watch it, the more and more awesome it gets. And it's one of my favorite comedies of all time, and it's my 9th favorite movie of the 90s. Coming number 8 is Miller's Crossing. Yes, Miller's Crossing, yes, speaking of Coen Brothers movies, this is my favorite Coen Brothers movie of all time. I love Miller's Crossing. I love its characters, I love its dialogue, I love its story, I love its premise, I love its costume design, I love its editing, I love how it's structured. I just love everything about this movie. It's got some dark comedic scenes in it, but it's a very serious movie, almost like a No Country for Old Men kind of feel, but this came out way before No Country for Old Men. I love No Country for Old Men, but this is better, and I love it. I love the character Tom Reagan. He's an amazing character. I think John Turturro gives his best performance out of any Coen Brothers movie, and he's very good in a lot of Coen Brothers movies, especially Barton Fink. But I love Miller's Crossing. It's one of my favorite mob movies. It's just one of my favorite dramatic movies, and it's my 8th favorite movie of all time in the 90s. Coming number 7 is the movie Seven. Yes, David Fincher's Seven. This is my favorite David Fincher movie, and it's my favorite Brad Pitt movie, and probably even Morgan Freeman movie. I love this movie. It has two actors that I never thought they would work amazing together, but they did, and I wish they just did more movies together, because I think Brad Pitt and Morgan Freeman are fantastic in this movie as these two cops try to catch this killer named John Doe who's killing people according to the 7 deadly sins. And it's played by Kevin Spacey, spoilers, but yeah. This movie is so freaking good. It's a very neo-noir, dark, disturbing, gross, fucking bleak-ass movie. And it's just amazing, amazing from start to finish. The writing is fantastic. The direction is fantastic. The acting is fantastic. The characters are awesome. All very compelling, three-dimensional characters. The ending to this movie is one of the best movie endings ever. What a twist, and what a heartbreaking tragedy. It's such an amazing movie. I love neo-noir kind of movies, and this is one of the best neo-noir films I've ever seen. It's my favorite David Fincher movie. It's one of my favorite cop movies, and I love it. Seven is one of the best movies of all time, and it's my 7th favorite movie of the 90s. Coming number 6 is The Iron Giant. This is hands down one of the most underrated animated movies of all time. Brad Bird's his best movie, and Brad Bird's done great movies. He did Tomorrowland, The Incredibles, Ratatouille, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, but The Iron Giant is hands down his best movie. This is so amazing. It's so compelling, and it's just so riveting, and sometimes you completely forget that you're watching an animated movie because it's so amazing, compelling, and realistic, and just so charming and likable. I love this movie. I love the characters, I love the designs, I love the story, I love everything. I love how innocent this movie is, I love how comedic this movie can get, and I love everything about it. It's so amazing. So I'm really ashamed that this movie is as underrated as it is, because I know it's a big rating on Rotten Tomatoes, but this movie didn't make a lot of money in the box office. This movie came out in 1999. It didn't make a lot. I think it was almost a flop at the box office, and that is a shame, because this movie is just brilliant. Just brilliant. Heard it's coming out on Blu-ray. I don't know when, but I can't wait to buy it, and I love this. Iron Giant is amazing. It's probably the best performance Vin Diesel gives in a movie, and yeah, I love it. Iron Giant, my 6th favorite movie of the 90s. Coming number 5 is LA Confidential. Yes, Chris Hansen did a fantastic job. Bang up job, man. This was a big year for movies. Like, this is the same year Good Will Hunting, Titanic, As Good as It Gets all came out, so LA Confidential couldn't win a lot of Academy Awards, sadly. But this was one of the best years of movies ever. I loved this year because LA Confidential is a brilliant movie. It's probably like one of my favorite cop movies of all time. The performances in this movie are all fantastic. Russell Crowe is amazing. Kevin Spacey is my favorite as Hollywood Jack. I love Danny DeVito, James Cornwell, Kim Basinger, everyone, Guy Pearce. Everyone is so good in this movie. I love the era it's in. It's like in the 50s. It just feels like you're watching a 50s crime movie. And it's just all so beautifully executed. The writing is so good. The score is good. The soundtrack is good. The ending twist is very good. And just, you don't know what's going to happen. You just get invested into this crime with all these police officers, and you just love it. You're compelled and riveted from start to finish. It's entertaining. It's thrilling. It's amazing. It's one of my favorite movies of the 90s. Love LA Confidential. So good. Coming number 4 is a tie between 2 movies written by Quentin Tarantino, and that's Pulp Fiction and True Romance. Yes, Pulp Fiction, written and directed by Quentin Tarantino. It's so good. Everyone loves Pulp Fiction. I love Pulp Fiction. Some people are calling it overrated just because people just tend to like to do that with popular mainstream movies, but Pulp Fiction is amazing and incredible, one of the greatest movies of all time for a reason. It's got brilliant writing, brilliant characters, brilliant performances, and just amazing and just bizarre situations that they bring you in, and you just get so invested in it. Just despite how gritty and realistic this movie is, it's fucking amazing, and it's not off-putting, it's very watchable, it's very entertaining, it's very darkly funny, and I love it. I love Bruce Willis, John Travolta, Samuel Jackson, Uma Thurman, Vin Rhames, everyone, Tim Roth, even the one scene Christopher Walken. Everyone is so good, so many iconic scenes in this movie. Come on, the Royale with cheese, and this is a tasty burger. And of course, the watch scene with Christopher Walken, very weird and awkward scene, but I love it. And of course, the needle scene, yeah, just a lot of shit. And bring out the gimp. So many iconic lines and iconic scenes, and just, I love it. Even Quentin Tarantino's performance as Jimmy is just so fucking awesome. And I love this movie. The writing, the direction, the stories, the premise, everything about Pulp Fiction is amazing. It's one of my favorite mob movies of all time, and it's one of my favorite movies of all time. Another favorite of mine is True Romance. I love True Romance. This is written by Quentin Tarantino, but directed by Tony Scott. This is fantastic. Another stellar cast. Christian Slater, Patricia Arquette, Christopher Walken, Brad Pitt, Dennis Hopper, Tony Soprano himself, James Gandolfini. Everyone is just on their A game. It's a very thrilling story, very bizarre story. Gary Oldman as frickin' Drexel. Oh, one of my favorite characters in this movie. God, now one or two scenes he's in is just so fun, fantastic. It's like my favorite scenes in the whole movie. I love Gary Oldman with the dreadlocks. It's so good. I buy the romance, though, in this movie between Christian Slater and Patricia Arquette. You buy the romance, hence the title, True Romance, and it's a very thrilling and very entertaining movie. I loved it. I love the writing, I love the direction, I love everything about that movie. And I think it's right there on par with Pulp Fiction. They're both my 4th favorite movie of the 90s. I couldn't pick a favorite, so I just put them both as a tie. Love them both. Coming number 3 is Goodfellas. Yes, Goodfellas. This is my favorite Scorsese movie. I love Goodfellas. I love great mob movies. I love realistic mob movies. And of course, I love Scorsese movies. And Goodfellas is the best of both worlds. It's the best of mob movies, the best of Scorsese movies. Joe Pesci steals this entire movie as the character Tommy. He is just fucking psychotic, but he's awesome and entertaining as shit. That scene, come on. funny now? How am I funny? How am I funny now? Do I amuse you? Am I a clown? Love it. Ray Liotta's great. Robert De Niro's great. Everyone is so good. Everyone brings their A-game acting in this movie. It's so fantastic. The writing, the direction, the story, the premise, everything about this movie is fantastic. Kick-ass soundtrack, great cinematography, great editing. I'm surprised they didn't win Best Picture that year, but who cares? Goodfellas is one of the bests. Coming number 2 is my favorite Tim Burton movie of all time, Ed Wood. Yes, I have always said this. If you're interested in filmmaking and you love movies about filmmaking, Ed Wood is the best movie to watch. Like, if you want to watch a movie about filmmaking and just how films are made and what people are like in the industry, Ed Wood is a pretty fun movie to watch. There's another good movie to watch about that. It's called State and Maine. That's another one, but Ed Wood is more of a quirky and campy movie about filmmaking, and it's about the worst director of all time, Edward D. Wood Jr., who's played beautifully by Johnny Depp, and this movie's all very black and white because it's trying to bring the 50s/40s kind of era to screen, and Tim Burton's direction is fantastic. Martin Landau as Bela Lugosi is fantastic as well. Everyone's great. Sarah Jessica Parker, Patricia Arquette, all phenomenal. The writing, the costume, the makeup, everything about this movie is so good. I love these entire cast of characters. I love the performances, and I love this movie. Anytime I want to watch a movie about filmmaking, I always put on Ed Wood because it's just brilliant. And my number 1 favorite movie of the 90s is a tie. Yes, a tie between Good Will Hunting and Much Ado About Nothing. 2 very, very different movies, but I just couldn't choose a favorite, so I just put them both as a tie. Good Will Hunting, directed by Gus Van Sant, written by Matt Damon and Ben Affleck. It's brilliant. The performances are all mesmerizing. Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, Robin Williams, won his Academy Award for Supporting Actor, Minnie Driver, Stellan Skarsgård. Everyone is just amazing. Just amazing. That scene, the It's Not Your Fault scene, just tears. Just tears. In that scene where the pawn and Robin Williams talks to Matt Damon about life and stuff, one of the best written scenes in movies. Is it's probably like my top 10 favorite movie scenes of all time. It's so good. The lines, the dialogue, everything about this movie is just iconic and just brilliant. I love Good Will Hunting. It's a great coming-of-age story. It's always been one of my favorite movies. It's one of the movies that got me into movies, and yeah, Good Will Hunting is my favorite movie of the 90s. But what also is my favorite movie of the 90s is the movie Much Ado About Nothing. Much Ado About Nothing is my favorite Kenneth Branagh movie. It's my favorite Shakespeare movie. I love this movie. Again, stellar cast. Kenneth Branagh, Emma Thompson, Keanu Reeves, Denzel Washington, Kate Beckinsale, and Robert Sean Leonard, just a bunch of people. Michael Keaton, everyone is so good in this movie. It's a very comedic, lighthearted Shakespeare play. It's not like this grand epic like Hamlet or this tragic story like Romeo and Juliet. It's a very lighthearted, comedic Shakespeare play, and I just fucking love it. I love the Joss Whedon version that was made in the 2010s, but this one is done so beautifully well. Just it's the era it's in, the characters, the actors who played the characters. It's just all brilliantly handled. I love how the story was executed. It's my favorite Shakespeare play. I read the Shakespeare play a bajillion times, and this adaptation gave it more than justice. It's a complete, accurate adaptation of the play itself. It's funny, it's comedic, and it's just brilliant. It's well directed, well shot, well edited, well structured, and just beautiful to look at, and it's just a blast. So entertaining, so funny. I love it. So yeah, Good Will Hunting, Much Ado About Nothing, both my favorite movies of the 90s. So yeah, that's my top 10 personal favorite movies of the 90s of all time. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with this list? If not, give me your top 10 favorite movies of the 90s. Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you liked this video, please like and subscribe to this channel and join the dark side.